Hello everyone, welcome back. In this video we are going to create Laravel project. As we have set dependencies for a Laravel project creation. We have installed Composer. Now we are ready to create the project, and then after creating the Laravel project we will be able to mess with it. So before I start the video, please press the subscribe button and hit the like button as well. So now we are going to create Laravel project, the Laravel latest one version project, which is 7.x. How we are going to create the Laravel latest version project? The command will be same for every project, right? But what you have to notice is a minor changes that you have to make in this one command each time whenever you are going to create a project with different versions. What you got to do is to write this: create project, prefer dist, and then you will have to write Laravel /Laravel, and in here you will have to write the Laravel version of which you are going to create the project. Which one version? If I'm going to create the Laravel version 5.7, then I will write 5.7 static. Whichever is the latest one version in that lane, in that sequence. Right now I am going to create the latest one version project, which is 7.x. Now I'm going to write 7.x, right? And in here I will give the project name. What project name I will recommend for this one project? It is going to be Hello World. It takes time in creating the Laravel project, so we will wait for it, and then once it is installed, once it is created, then we will start working on it, right? So as long as it is going to install, it is going to create a project for us, we will go through the Laravel website to check which one topics we will cover, how we will going to cover the Laravel, and I will try my best to convey my best skills, my best concepts to you guys. You guys can ask me any question in comment below. So I'm going to press enter button. So if you start creating a Laravel project for me with the name Hello World on the desktop, we had to create this this project in Laravel projects directory, but for now it is okay. It is going to create a Hello World project for us on a desktop. So it is going to create a Laravel project for us. Now you can see in here, Hello World project is created, and it will set dependencies and everything accordingly, but it takes time, right? You have to wait for it. Now in here, we have run this one command with the minor changes we made in here, with equal sign and then the version accordingly, right? So it will create a Laravel project for us, and then after creating it, we will run this one command. It will run application on this one port, 8000 port, localhost 8000 port, and it will open a default web page for us, and then we will make changes in it. First we will cover the basic section. In here we will cover routing, middleware, CRS/RF protection, controllers, requests, responses, views, URL generation, session validation, error handling, logging, and all these topics slowly and gradually accordingly, right? And I hope you guys will find all the videos helpful for you. So we have to wait for the project creation. It takes time. Okay, what is routing? We will check for the routing. First, redirect routes, view routes. Redirect route, what does redirect do? Whenever you are going to perform some action and then you want to redirect your route to some specific URL, then you can use redirect routes. View routes returns view blade file for you. Required parameters, when you are required to pass parameter on the URL, then you will use required parameters route required parameters. In this section we will handle that. Optional parameters, we can set whether we have to whenever we have to set either if a user pass a parameter to the route, then it will be handled in here. Otherwise, if he does not pass any parameter, then what the route will have to do. So in optional parameter, it handles both the circumstances. Regular expression constraints, in here we use regular expressions. What is it? Mostly we use regular expression for validation purpose, and it has its own way of syntax, so we'll handle this as well. Name routes, we can use name routes. We will give a name attribute to, we will associate name attribute with the route, and after whenever we have to call it, we will use that name. With that name we can easily call that route, right? Route groups, what we got to do in here is middleware, how we can call middleware whenever we are going to hit the route. Namespaces, subdomain routing, route prefixes, route name prefixes, and all these we will cover it slowly and gradually accordingly, right? All you got to do is to wait for a little while. So it is in here, you can select Laravel version. It is the latest one version of Laravel, which is 7.x. So the feature which are showing in here are related to this one specific version. If you want to check routing topic according to Laravel 6.1.x version, then you will have to click on it. Otherwise, if you want to check for the rest one version, these feature which I have discussed before, you will have to click on the version accordingly, right? So as we have to work on 7.x, then I have clicked on 7.x. You can even search anything in here as well. So it is the Laravel official website. It is way more simple, way more helpful. So whenever you are going to learn any new technology, any new skills, all you got to do is to visit its official website. It will be more helpful for you. So let me check once again either it has created a Laravel project for us or not. No, it is still in processing. So all we got to do is to wait for a little while. I will really appreciate your patience. So in here we will discuss routing, basic routing. What is basic routing? What does it do for us? So whenever we want to display any message, any GET request is handled by basic in here in basic routing section. What does it? It means route. It means it is route, and which one route? I mean, this route handles which type of request. So there are multiple types of request methods. Sorry. Post method, get method, any method, and you can even use a delete method, patch method, put method, and update method as well. So you can define route accordingly for those requests. Route get foo, if I'm going to hit HTTP like this, I'm going to use 8000. Once our application will be created, it will be running on this one URL, right? And if I hit foo, what will it do for us? It will show nothing right now, but at that time, once we declare this one route, it will show hello world message for us. We will do it, we will implement it later on, but not right now. I'm conceptually, conveying my message to you guys. Oh yes, it has generated a Laravel project for us with the name Hello World. All we got to do is to go inside the Laravel project Hello World. I'm pressing tab. It has completed the name of folder and then inside Hello World. Now if I write dir in here, it will show all the default folder inside the project created by the composer command. In here, app, what will it has for us, right? App, it keeps the main core files for the Laravel project. Core files, I mean by that, it has controllers, middlewares, models, which are the most important files, which are the most important sections for Laravel projects. So all these are placed inside app, right? If I go to cd app and I press hit button and then I write dir, okay, it shows console exceptions and HTTP providers and user. What is user? In here, the user is model. HTTP is the folder in which the controller will be placed, and controller mostly handles HTTP based requests, middlewares and everything will be placed in here. So later on we are going to visit this one folder as well, but before I go into this one folder, let me explain you guys again. Laravel is MVC based framework. It has 3 layers. I mean, it is divided into 3 main sections. If you understand the flow of Laravel, how does it work, then it will become easy for you to work on it, right? So M means model, V means view, and C means controller. Once we hit the URL, it goes to the route section like this. We will declare it and it look for the URI, right, which is this, and then accordingly it goes inside the function and then it returns the page or whatever we have placed in here, or either we want to go the request inside the controller. So after this, it goes inside the controller, and in controllers it look for the endpoint, and in that endpoint it returns the message or whatever we have placed over there is returned by the function, right? So controller, what controller does is returns file which will be view blade file, which will be displayed on the web page, right? It will be web page, obviously. Controller is placed in the middle of model and view. Controller can communicate with the model and with the view as well. View is a web page where we place design, where we place our blade syntax, right? Which is a template file, which is the Laravel template, right? Its extension will be laravel.blade.php, right? Additionally, we will have to write blade inside, in between the name and the PHP extension, right? And it returns a parameter. Controller return parameters along the view blade file as well, which we can display inside the Laravel blade code, right? Similarly, controller can communicate with the model as well. What does model do for us? Model communicate with the databases. Whichever request we send to the database, whatever data we want to fetch from a database, we will first send request from the controller to the model, and model send request to the database. It fetches data from there and it returns back the data to the controller, and then controller returns the data according to the logic to the blade file, and then we display that data in the blade file, right? So it was the brief view, and accordingly, as practically I am going to implement all these things, then I will explain it again over there also. So for now, it was enough. In the next video, as we have created the project, in the next video I'm going to run the server, and then I will show you how to work, how to mess with the Laravel project. So before I leave you guys, I am going to request you to please click the subscribe button and press and hit the like button as well. Thank you for watching this video.